of an experience, especially in IMAX. So, review once I get home.
Even death stuff.
What's going on?
Just practicing my Mario Kart!
Ask yourself, are you willing to fight?
Come with me.
Alright guys, so after watching two bad movies, I actually finally did watch Ready Player One in IMAX 3D, and check it out, I actually got this really cool poster while I was at the theater. So in Ready Player One, James Halliday, the creator of the virtual world of the Oasis, passes away, but he did hide 3 keys to whoever finds them first does get to be the new owner of the Oasis and also does win $500 million. Look, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Comic-Con trailer. Like, I wasn't interested in this movie that much. It wasn't until the previous last 2 trailers that came out that really sold me on to this movie a lot. Ready Player One is much better than I ever anticipated, and I regret ever doubting this movie. Steven Spielberg did a fantastic job both understanding and adapting the source material, and he leads this story very well. I was entertained throughout the movie, and I did not feel that 2.5-hour runtime, especially the second time when I watched it, which the time went by just very quick. The story is very straightforward, it sticks to the storyline throughout the movie, and it never feels like it tries to get distracted away from that story. Like, I do love the direction the story heads in. I actually loved Ty Sheridan in this role a lot, and I just thought he was really good in this movie. He had a really good character to work with. He was a lot of fun to watch in this movie, whether it was in the virtual world, in the Oasis, or just in real life. Also, it seems to be like this is a very good year for Olivia Cooke, who recently made a movie called Thoroughbreds, which not a lot of people heard that movie, but it was a really good movie. It came out just last month, and she was also very good in this movie, and she also had a very likable character to work with, again, whether it was in the Oasis or in the real world. I also liked Ben Mendelsohn as the villain a lot in this movie. I thought he was sort of threatening. At the same time, I really did like his character. Really, the only thing that was kind of sort of complicated for me to understand is his motivations to why he was the villain. I guess it was just me. I just couldn't really exactly get on it. But other great performances are Mark Rylance again, James Halliday as the creator of the Oasis, and Simon Pegg, who does have a small role in this movie, but at the same time, he was still pretty good in this movie. I also forgot to mention TJ Miller. He's in this movie. I didn't even know till like a few days before I saw this movie. But he does voice a character. I thought that his character was actually okay. He's just kind of the typical TJ Miller character, and you know, I just didn't feel like there was anything different from his character. And I did also end up caring for a lot of the supporting characters in this movie, which is actually pretty good because mainly in these movies you just kind of care for the main characters, but here I was cheering for the main characters, and at the same time I really did care for the supporting characters. This is a very gorgeous looking film. The visuals are striking and amazing to look at. The CGI in this movie is very good. It does look like a video game yet again. That's what they're trying to make it look like. This movie does take place in a virtual world, which is a video game, and I thought they did a really good job just kind of copying those video game graphics onto this movie, which they look really good in this movie, especially if you see it on a big screen like I did in IMAX. About 80% of this movie takes place in the Oasis, which again, it's fully computer generated. So if you kind of think about it, this movie is actually pretty much a CG animated movie, since 80% of the movie does take place in the Oasis and the other 20% takes place in the actual world. So if you actually do kind of think about it, this movie is sort of a animated movie. I know it sounds weird, but when you watch the movie, just seeing how much of this movie is just all computer generated, you would understand. And the writing in this movie is very sharp as well. I rarely talk about scores when I'm reviewing a movie, but I think that the score in this movie is really worth mentioning because it really does bring a lot of energy to the movie, and it really does have that old school video game vibe to it. I thought all the action scenes in this movie really worked, and they were a lot of fun to watch. Whether it was the opening race scene or the final battle scene, which was also very good. Now, there are a lot of cameos in this movie, and here are the ones I actually pointed out in the movie. Chucky, Jason, Hello Kitty, of course the Iron Giant, some characters from Halo, Harley Quinn, Batman and Batgirl, and even the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the 2014 Michael Bay reboot. And that's only to name a few. Really, the only problem going for this movie is that this movie does feel like it's just kind of shoving a bit of nostalgia down your throat. Like, sometimes it really does feel forced. But overall, I just loved the fun tone to this movie. I was fully invested in the story, I cared for the characters, and I pretty much did love this movie. I do think that this movie is definitely worth paying full price for. I did watch this movie twice, once in IMAX 3D and a second time at the Dolby Cinema with Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision. And from personal experience, I really had a fun time at both experiences because the Dolby Atmos was the surround sound, and the Dolby Atmos was really immersive, and it was just really good. But I personally would prefer and recommend the IMAX 3D more, just because those visuals do look much better on a large IMAX screen and in 3D, because the 3D is some of the best 3D I have ever seen. You will not be disappointed with the IMAX 3D in this movie, and the movie is loud as fuck in IMAX 3D. That's why I had such a great time with this movie. With that being said, I'm gonna give Ready Player One an A-. So yeah, go watch Ready Player One. Enjoy it in IMAX 3D or Dolby. Although again, I do recommend the IMAX 3D more. But either way, it's fine. I just can't see myself watching this movie in a standard theater screen. This movie has to be checked out in a actual big screen, like again IMAX or Dolby or any other large screen theater formats, whatever. But anyways, have you guys seen Ready Player One? Have you guys seen it? What did you guys think about it? Tell me in the comment section down below. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.